having a bunch of technical difficulties. So I thought there'd be no better way but to check in here. And see if I'm up and on live. Oh, I am up. Hi, Beth. Hello. So I need to check it. I need to fix my computer for class tonight. So I figured this was a perfect place. Hi, Shannon. A perfect place to check in and get things up as I'm just starting to write out my tonight's class. Hi, it's loud and it's good, Lindsay? Yes. So Lindsay and I are trying to make sure that we're solving the problem with my sound. I'm having some sound issues. I'm also having some voice issues. So that's why you're not seeing as much of me, because I have to save my voice for all the teaching that I do. I teach a lot in the school now. So been thinking a lot about me lately. Yes, I am healthy. Thank you, Beth. And Sherry, hello. So good to see you. I love Sherry Hool. I love how we're in that same little flow of messages today. I just posted my channeled message for Friday and another one for today. So I did 2 channeled messages for this week. One came out Friday and one came out today. And it really truly is about it's about not really about faking it, but fixing it, about doing the work that we need to do, living in the now. And I'm with you, Sherry. So last night I was kind of a little bit disturbed by not disturbed. I was just a little bit like, and it's nothing wrong with this, don't get me wrong, but really truly trying to tell the world, just kind of saying that the best way of dealing with life right now is to suppress it, do things that take us farther away from having to deal with the now. Well, if we don't deal with it now, when do we deal with it? Right? When do we suppress all of this and just exist in this world and pretend it's not happening until 2 or 3 years down the road, and then we've got this suppressed emotions compounded with something else? Like, come on, really, this is why we deal with things right now. And that's why, I put out More Than Existing during during a pandemic, not knowing when this was written exactly what was happening. So to anyone who's being encouraged to just kind of not deal with things right now, like let's just pretend it's not happening, that's not really a way to deal with things. That's my personal opinion. That's how I feel about it. So but I am in checking things out, and I'm in to announce something. Today is our 1-year anniversary. Lisa Richard, who's in here right now, she did message me this morning and say, hey, we are on our 1-year anniversary. Her and I've been so busy. We've been so busy partnering this up and building this school that, man, we didn't even notice that we have been in there for a year now. So today is officially 1 year since we started Corey School of Magic. And yes, there is a lot of people now enrolled into the school. Once you enroll into the school, it doesn't mean that you are committed to have to do anything. Hey, I just realized I don't have any of my scroll stuff on the bottom. There's nothing happening here. So hello. Thank you. And so we have, I have a lot of technical difficulties. I realize I don't have my little thing up in the corner that says Corey Thorne. I don't have my little scroll bar. Facebook wasn't connecting onto here. We had messed up sound on stuff. Oh my God, what a mess up. But today it's such win. So we started this school back in, right before all of the big pandemic stuff started. But we had started, so all of More Than Existing, all the Angel Course, all that stuff was happening. Prior to that, we were in Facebook itself. And then we decided to take it into a whole new level, and we grew it into a platform called Corey School of Magic. And Corey School of Magic is a platform. I'm not the only instructor in there. There's lots of guides, there's lots of teachers, there's lots of meditations, and there's a place that you get to enroll for free, and then you get to choose if you want to do the paid courses, if you want to just do the free stuff. and it has a little bit of everything. So you see us a lot more in there than you see us in here. You also have the Facebook or the YouTube also that's up. So today we are very happy to say that that we've made it a year. Also, I want to say, back to what Sherry and I were kind of just having a little one-sided conversation about, but it's on her Facebook page, in her as well, for Sherry Hool, and that whole dealing with stuff right now is that, when people say, oh well, nothing had last year has just been nothing but doom and gloom, and I'm like, and they want me to agree with them, and I can't. um Even though there has definitely been, and it's taken its toll on myself as well, this business definitely took a big freaking hit with it, a huge hit, because we were supposed to be just doing a cross Canada tour, supposed to be launching the book. Well, we did launch the book, but there was so many things that were supposed to happen. Now, this is where it changes. I could have got stuck. I could have got stuck in that, could have just been very freaking angry and just stuck there. But no, I dealt with my shit. I dealt with my emotions. I handled it. I faced the day, and I realized that, okay, I have to exist in this. So I have to accept this is what it is. And so there was an acceptance of that. And I also had the right to accept that I don't have, that I can accept that I don't have to agree with everything. And I can also accept, so there's a whole lot of things that when you look at it and you look at the healing journey, and I can also accept that I have really shitty internet. And I have Wi-Fi boosters. I've had the best Wi-Fi. I have it all. And I have the shittiest of shittiest Wi-Fi right now. So it's so crazy. But it's like, but a lot of things did happen. I mean, we launched, there's so much happened in the school. If you go into that school and look at how much has happened this year, holy shit, there is pages of programs in there. And then we put off the massive summit. That was 2.5 days. That was huge. Then this book came out during that time. I myself and Amelia Richard created this whole deck of 45 oracle cards that's going to be launched this year. So it's like, look at the, and they don't have to be big things, but look at the little things. What did you still accomplish? So we're still succeeding as long as we're still here today to be able to say we've made it to today. We've made it to here. So there's a lot of good things that we still have to look forward to. And so, Michael, hey, just got invited, very spiritual, and have been through a lot in my young life. I'm really curious what I get from this. Well, today I'm just doing a 2-card reading, Michael, so I hope that can help you in some way. You can go in. Actually, you have to be 18 and over to join into the school. That is a must. So you have to be 18. As long as you're 18, you can get into the school. And Rhonda, yes, all this magic that we got out of this, absolutely. And let me see. I'm just trying to see everybody's comment. I think it's just mostly hello, hello. Okay, so what I'm going to do today for everybody is I'm also going to announce that I am going to start I'm going to try my very best, because I'm only taking clients part-time now. I'm not taking many one-on-one sessions anymore. I'm making some big changes in my one-on-one sessions coming up in February. And I'm only going to be taking individual personal sessions, like a part-time thing. It's not so much because I'm so busy with teaching. And so also, oh, well, you're still a young fella, but you're still young, but you can still get it. Yes. No, 30, 31, you're good. You're allowed in the school, but it's a lot of good stuff in there as well. And we do chakras, and we do, spiritual enlightenment. And Michelle Gibson actually has a class coming up that actually might really interest you, that you might want to join. She's one of the more than existing students in her level 4. She's taken her mediumship. She's done all the intuitive, the angel courses, the tarot courses, everything that there is that she's been able to get certified in. She is also teaching a course right away. Lisa Richard has a 21-day meditation. Highly recommended. I started my first day of the 21-day meditation, started this morning. So that's also in the school. So, but I did want to give 2 cards. So what I was going to say, now that I'm only doing this part-time, doing individual sessions part-time, I am trying to give my voice a rest. But I am going to be truly trying to make a commitment to a once a day in live, but it'll only be short. It's only going to be no longer than a 15-minute live. I do want to be able to put them also onto Instagram. So I have to keep them within the 15 minute to put them in IGTV. So when I record them, they'll also go in here as well, or I'll record them live in here and then I'll download them onto Instagram because I can't do it all at once. So it'll be here, but there'll be 15 minutes once a day. That's my new, I can't guarantee you that I'll make it ever. I'm going to try my best, but once a day, it'll be 15 minutes. I'll do a card of the day. Hopefully I'll be using my own deck of cards. That's the plan, because as soon as we get these little babies with their names on them now, we're going to be able to get the beta decks. So when we get the beta decks, we're going to be able to do. So they all have names. I would like for you to meet Sasha. So this is Sasha. She is the performer in the new Oracle cards that are coming out. And so this is truly about holding faith and reaching out and seeing your higher self. And you know, it's like we have these alter egos or this false persona, this false confidence that we put on into the world when we're really not truly having faith in ourselves and trusting ourselves. And this beautiful Sasha is about that sense of, you know, when we take the stage of life, when we walk out into our world, when we put ourselves out there, when we know that we're operating and living from our truth, living honest with ourselves and in alignment to our integrity, is that we no longer feel a need to have to be a performer. When we no longer feel like we have to be pleasing everybody else, that we can be in acceptance, that this is what happens. So, you know, we get to be able to operate so you can see we can live from our, you know, from our true self, that we can stay rooted and grounded in who we are. See how she's flying high. She's like, her feet are not touching the ground because she's not grounded in who she is. She looks like she got her shit together. She looks like she has her life together, but she's not planted and rooted and grounded. So she's not just living here. So which means when we're so determined to live as somebody else or to be somebody else, we're so impressed by everyone else, or we compare ourselves to filtered images, or we feel that we have to filter out everything in our lives to look better than what it really is, or to be better than what it really is, that we just can't show up as ourselves, then that means we have a lot of on the ground work to do, a lot of working right here, right now, and learning to have faith in ourselves. And so what do I need to do today? And so this is living beyond our bullshit that we place ourselves in, our own stories that we tell ourselves, the judgment that we place upon ourselves, and we become our own worst enemy. What do I need to do today to move beyond the fear story and discover the faith in me to believe, why not me? To believe, why not me? And so this is beautiful card that will be there, and the healing message. So this is like your attitude is showing, so people can see through anything that is not true of us, even when we think they can't. So when we're being way too freaking nice, you know, it's that super beyond nice, when we're trying too hard, or when we're trying to be the rebel, when we're trying to be the asshole, when we're trying to make people not like us, all of those attitudes, they show. You can't hide it because it's in your aura. And so the energy seeps out and it's seen everywhere. And so the healing message of love from the Everyday Goddess cards of Sasha, if you can see it in me, then it must also be in you. For you and I are reflections of a truth that can set us all free. And More Than Existing was written from that place, is that when I could see myself in the eyes of those that were judging me, I could see how hard I was on myself. And when I got attacked on Facebook and I had somebody creating a whole page that was dedicated to the hate of me, then I really truly, yep. And I found myself, you know, really truly trying to find my way out of this world. I'm like, really? Am I really defined that much by what somebody else who's a stranger who don't even know me thinks of me, that I can allow that person? And when I tried to get help, when I tried to get the help of places like Facebook, they told me to deal with it myself. Never mind that I had to get security and everything put into my house for protection, but that was the essence. And so I dealt with it myself. I didn't deal with it with anger, with fighting back that way. I fought back the best way. I seen myself in there and seen how judgmental I was of myself, and I accepted me. And I said, it doesn't matter what those people think because I really don't care. And that's the truth now. Before, obviously, I did care. So I still had some sense of insecurities that were happening within me, that I was still fearful of that kind of energy, somebody who was that kind of pissed off in the world and obviously hating on everybody in the world was choosing me and and the messages were unreal. And so that's why you don't see reviews on my page, is because when it was up, we couldn't even, they were like destroying everything that they could possibly get their hands on of my business, of a friend's business, of another person's business, like everything. And I'm like, if you're that hateful within your heart, I think it's time to go inward. And so when we see that and we come from that place, we see now, and I'm like, it was really preparing me for what this world was going to be like during this time, because we have seen the worst of humanity in these times. We've seen people behave and mistreat neighbors and get in fights with neighbors who they were best friends with, stop speaking to friends because we had different views, attack each other, like cancel each other out, like all of that stuff. Like, really, have we really become that type of energy? So the Sasha is about the performer. It's about when you truly are about, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and then you can't, you remove everybody and everything, and then you see it on somebody else's page, and then you start attacking that person over it, and you're like, holy crap, I'm mad that they did it, but I just did that, but I can't see my own actions. So it's the same thing. I was mad that I was being judged, and I was upset and I was hurt, but then in the same breath, I was judging myself. When you stop doing those things, when you take a good look and you look beyond, you truly start to see the truth. And there's so much honesty in what we can accept about who we are right now, and say, you know what, I am fine. I might not be perfect. I am human. And so we truly then can work from that place. Um and to be able to know that, as I'm finishing up writing the fifth book that I'm writing, and it's called I am resting in the way home. So I'm not running to get to the end. I'm not rushing through anything. I'm taking a lot more downtime, taking a lot more pause time, taking a lot more to reflect and to observe and to experience life. I'm going to be 50 years old in a couple months, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever stopped to experience life. I've been, in the way of, for me, not just in the way of learning and channeling and those things, but my human existence. I'm slowing down. I'm smelling the roses. I'm taking time to spend with my granddaughter. I'm taking time to learn more about me, about who I am, what I personally like. And that's what I'm suggesting for you, is that this is now, this is not this what's happening out in the world right now. I can tell you, because I channel it, is not going to end today, tomorrow. And as much as we want to put that facade out there and say, hey, everything is good now. No, it's only good for if you're getting your wants and your insecurities met. And as long as your fears and insecurities are being nurtured, then the world is good. But there's still a percentage of another population that the world is not so good for, that things are not as going as planned. So when I operate and speak, I leave out my personal connection to the world, and I pick up what it is that the world is feeling. And it's like, and everyone has a right to feel the way that they feel, depending on geographic, lifestyle, race, no matter what it is that everyone is somehow in their story and in their life. And so I'm in my personal story, my personal journey of staying very connected to my human self while also still doing the work. But what I've really come to understand is that, for me, my whole journey to the way home is truly about kindness, benevolence, benevolence. Look up benevolence. Being a benevolent being, doing the right thing for the right reason. And that doesn't mean to nurture our insecurities and fears. Is sometimes we got to move beyond our own wants, our own desires, and what's for the highest good of all. And that's a truth. So really truly living from that place. Uh, no, very true, Cynthia. Right, Annette? Yes, for talking bad talk about yourself. Stop it. We got some great programs to help you with that. Oh my God, Michael, you'll have to rewind. I can't remember now. Once I got them out, it's hard for me to get them again because they're channeled. Um, you'll have to go back a little bit and just when it's the live is over, just kind of push it back and see what it was. Um, I'm sorry. I didn't see your message a moment before then. Um, But Mary, as much as that's in the world, there's also as much good and light in the world. You just got to find it. And that's what I'm observing. And so that's why I'm taking the pause time because all the way through this, I ride the faith train. I said that every like for so long. I have not yet got off the faith train. I'm a realist. I'm very real. I'm very honest. I know what's happening in the world. I'm not, but I listen to all sides. I really do. I take in all sides. But I don't get caught up in what's happening because it's what comes over the lips is people's own opinions, their emotional connection, their why, their motives, their manipulation, whatever it may be. And I trust myself. And so there's a lot of truth that's there. And so let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of light. Yeah, yeah, actually that's yeah. Trying to find another comment to see in here. It's like you're reading my like got that message today, right? Yes, yes, Sherry, rest. It's okay to rest. It's a hard one. So, I mean, I know the girls are laughing at me here because in my rest time since the summit, I've pretty much wrote a book, finished writing up the oracle cards, started another program, started the Goddess Within, the Soul Revival. Um, yeah. Yes, Kathy, it's my granddad. My granddaughter is my big why. Um, Somebody else had a comment I was trying to see. Yes, exactly, Rhonda. There was a lot of love there. Alicia. Yes, sometimes so Alicia, one thing I can tell you is that it's not our timing, it's divine timing. So it's always about this sense of divine timing, having to wait. Um, Patience is a big one. Patience is a big one. That struggles don't end when we want them to end, without a doubt. Sorry, I'm trying to get my mouse back. Just keep moving forward. So in my channeled message today, I even spoke about so my channeled message today was what I spoke about today was I spoke of this whole sense of resentment. And we got a lot of resentment energy. And I also got this urgent, we're selling fear. So the world is selling fear. I'm like staying on this faith train because the world is selling fear. And I don't believe that. And I said, you see it in every email. I wake up in the morning, I go to check my emails, and it's like, holy shit, can someone please stop telling me that it's urgent? You need to do this right now. This is your last chance. This is the last day. And big exclamation marks. And I'm like, really? Are we really that operating from that much of selling fear and desperation that the first thing that someone should see in a message, and that's how we've become to sell our products, is to push and sell based on urgency. And it's like, That hit me so hard, and I'm like, I don't know if I've really paid attention to it as much as I've paid attention to it since I found myself being, in the energy of like, this is not right. And so I'm like, we have a lot of resentfulness, we have a lot of old stories, we have a lot of the past that is floating around, and we have a whole lot of fear. And so in my messages, and both of them came up this way. I spoke about bath water, and I said back in the day, I remember my mother telling me, because she's from a huge family, like if there's no running water, then they would warm up the water and you'd get a bath in the water. So everybody got a bath in the same bath water. So the first couple were probably really excited because they got the cleaner. The first one got the really clean bath. So if you were lucky enough to be the one to get the first bath, then you were the clean one. And so everybody was all excited they got a bath. But by the time I got to the last ones, they weren't so freaking excited and they were not clean. They did not have a nice, warm, hot bath. They were freezing cold. They were grumpy. They were kind of left out. They got the scraps of it, of the bath, right? I mean, they got the dirty bath. They didn't really get clean. And then the person that got all clean is like, I don't know what you're so angry about. I don't know what you're so upset about. I don't know why you'd be hurt. We all got a bath. You should be happy we got a bath. See the two different stories? They were in the same bathtub. But from beginning to the end, from the nice clean water to the yucky dirty water, there would be two different stories, and there would be resentment, and there would be frustration, and there'd be anger, and there'd be uncomfortableness, and there'd be coldness. And then you'd want that person to be as happy as the nice warm fuzzy person that was like all cuddled up and they're warm. See the difference? Do you see the difference? So then when we argue with each other about who is right and who is wrong, you think of, okay, so you got what you wanted. You got what you wanted. But so many other people didn't get what they want. Do you see that? And I always say that when people say, about, we need to stop doing this, we need to stop doing that. Okay, have you looked at all the other scale? What will all those other people do? Where will they work? How will they feed their families? So when you're in support of one thing, you have to remember you are also in support of something else. So that means you're also supporting poverty, or like no matter what it is, there's an upside and there's a not so pretty side. And so choosing to live my life by what I call the 360, by staying in the middle of the crossroads, is that I'm choosing to look at all directions. Yeah, it's great that we want to change the world. It's great. But at what cost will it cost you to get your way? What will it cost? Will it cost 8,000 families not having homes? Will it cost those 8,000 people now not having money to donate to food banks? Will it cost those kids now not having a home to live in, living on the streets, losing everything, having no jobs? There's a whole ripple effect of our wants being met. So that bathwater story really truly is a good way to put it. Look, gain new perspectives, rise high enough to not be a performer, to not to put facades on, to not also be caught in our inner child and our past experience, our fear stories, or our desires to have every one of our little needs met right now. Movement, evolution, evolving, growing, truth, beautiful, wonderful. And it will come at some cost. But if we can minimize the cost, and we can minimize the anger, we can minimize the fear stories, if we can operate from a faith and being able to have trust in those that we're supposed to have our faith in, because right now we don't have it. And that's the truth. I don't know where that message is coming from, but I know it's coming from a place of when I talked about the resentment, when I speak about being a good human being, benevolent, being kind, understanding what that means. And once you do the right things, once you start to accept that not everything is going to go my way, I can't have everything change that fast. And by wanting to isolate this group to get this group up here, then I'm making this group a less than human as well. So for me to be enough in the world, I have to belittle this person, and then this person is not as equal of a human being as me? Really? And then we want to call ourselves kind? We want to call ourselves good. So in this crossroads, in the center of the cross, when you learn to go back and think, okay, I'm thankful I got the bath. Thankful I got somewhat of a bath, but I will not gloat. I will not rub that in somebody else's face. I will not want it to be at a cost of somebody else if there's any way possible to avoid it. If there's any way that we can avoid that, how can we work together? How do we bring our lives to working from the center of the cross? Because if your coming out of your misery is costing somebody else to now be placed upon the cross, if you come off the cross and your desire is to put somebody else on the cross, there's a time that we really need to look inward. And that's what's happening because we're not living in the now. We're not really living in the now. And this whole sense of, nope, sorry, you're not woke. And you're not woke, so I got to cancel you out and I got to move you. And this might get all filtered. This might get all taken down for just using those words because we're not allowed to speak that. Even though I'm speaking of love. So you get to choose who's going to be woke enough to live in your society, to live in your world. Do you know what happened the last time that happened in the world? I know, I know, I know. I've seen it. And it's true, it's there. And so being the best person that we can be, doing the right thing for the right reasons, sometimes mean that we need to get high enough to look all the way around, all the way around. We're not here to live in the past. We're not here to repeat the past, but we're here to learn from the experiences of the past. And we've got more wisdom, more knowledge to incorporate with that so that we can do better all the way around. So that we can do better all the way around. And when we operate from there, now we're learning to be good human beings. Now we're learning to be kind to each other again. And that we don't feel one is better than the other. It doesn't mean that we're not worthy to go out and work hard. And I would say, if you don't put the work in, you can't be envious and jealous and resentful of somebody who's putting the work in. If you're unwilling and you don't want to, then you have to accept what you get. If you put the work in, then you truly do deserve that. So, yeah. Oh God, we gotta. Don't anybody message that person that's in there. We got to delete that person. Got it. Caught it. Okay. There was a Bablo something. If he messaged you, don't answer it. Don't answer it. It is the same freaking thing that happens every time. See? Facebook don't take care of that shit. And so the cards that I'm giving you to go with this is truly, and this is downloads. This is downloads I channel. So this is channel messages that I'm getting for the world today. So the two cards that we're choosing for today, two cards came out for the first card. So we're actually, see, I was going to put 3 in there. And then I said, no, maybe I'll do 2 because I don't have a lot of time. But here we are doing, and this is my teaching of tonight, which I'm trying to get ready. And so, oh, hello, Jessica. I didn't even see you there. That's where the expression comes from. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Right? Exactly. Oh, yes. Family of 10 and always 3 foster kids. So bathwater was gray, Angie. Those were the days we played in the dirt. Yes, exactly. Right? Yeah, those were days. Yeah. Nowadays, we probably wouldn't be as dirty in that water. But, in the days when we used to play outside all the time, when we were allowed outside. And so the cards that come out is intuition and downloads. And truly, it's like we get this, we get these first thoughts, this, I don't know if that's right. But then we charge ahead anyway. It's like mob mentality. We get in our own mob mentality in our own heads. And we get into the wars, the fights, the storm. We even argue with ourselves in our own heads. We make ourselves our enemies. And so then it's like where are we operating from? Where are we getting our information from? Where are you downloading from? And so if you're downloading words that are coming from somebody else's mouth, we should be questioning. And so when you can question your own self, so when you learn to question your own self, when you learn to question even your own little motives, your own little white lies, all of those things. And I know last night my partner asked me a question about something, and I said, wait. He said, what? You just asked me. And I said, I know. I said, but I have to think about this. And I have to think about this because he asked something about prior. If, would you have thought the same way prior to knowing what you know now, like really, truly doing the healing work on yourself? And my first answer, the first thought I wanted to give was a little bit of, I want it to be right. So I was going to give the whole holier than thou speech of I was going to be right. And then I said, no, wait. If I answer you right now, I will impulsively answer from a desire to be right. And I said, wait a minute. Let me breathe this for a second. And then I said, no, I don't need to be right. I need to be honest. No, I would not have. I would have thought the exact